Good afternoon to you, and good evening to you from wherever you are joining us. This is Mayegun live. Thank you very much for joining me and joining us at this hour. Kindly read beyond the caption of the broadcast. Read the description as well. Then like it, the broadcast, especially on YouTube, if you are joining us on YouTube, by the way. So like it, then share it to invite your friends and then your not so friendly friends, your frenemies, to join us, right, in this conversation. And if the time permits, we shall take calls, like kind of like, extend it from the next 3 hours. So thank you very much if you have done that already. So tonight, we are going to River State again. The last time I shared something about River State, I did say we are not going to hear the last from River State anytime soon. River State is the state that Tinubu said to prevent the breakdown of law and order, declared a state of emergency, appointed a sole administrator that will govern the state for the next 6 months. According to Tinubu, he said this sole administrator will be working with the National Assembly, meaning the National Assembly will act like the status of assembly for Rivers people. So decisions that concerns appointment or sack of anyone that were like the available or the existing order should always have the blessing of the same National Assembly. But there are so many infractions, when it comes to this, false creation by Tinubu's sole administrator. Majority agreed that it is illegal because there's nothing in their constitution that gives the power to the president of a country of Nigeria to remove a state governor. Nowhere. Therefore, their constitution didn't create the office of sole administrator. Like, if in case a state governor is suspended or something happened that a state of emergency is declared, now this is the title of sole administrator. So majority agreed that it is illegal. So they pushed it through the National Assembly in a very insidious way. But the sad thing is, majority of those who disagrees or still who disagreed and still disagrees, majority of them seems to be powerless in changing anything. So the women of River State 2 days ago protested against the state of emergency. They demanded for the reinstatement of their governor. Because according to them, this is a fluke, this is a fraud, right? The genesis of this whole chaos was because of a disagreement between two political bodies, right? And they have now split into 2 groups. So that led to you declaring a state of emergency. So why would you punish one and then favor the other in the name of trying to find peace, which led to that protest at the time, 2 days ago, right? In reaction, today, the weakest group have organized theirs. And this time, it is in solidarity with IBAS, Tinubu's administrator in River State. Like sole administrator that is acting like he is elected, right? After his selection by Tinubu, right? This guy is already sacked the existing political appointees by the elected government, supposedly the Fubara's government, removed them, and then he has appointed local government administrators, which in itself is also illegal. But because it's like they declared martial law. And right now, the Constitution of Nigeria is suspended. I think that is the best definition for it. Because when you suspend the elected officials and you appoint a replacement in their place, right? So that simply means that there is no provision for it in your own constitution. So what you have done is you've suspended the Constitution of Nigeria in Rivers State. And the sole administrator is acting based on whatever it is called by Tinubu's Attorney General of Nigeria, by the way. So right now, the Rivers people, on the other hand, feels shortchanged or powerless, because that's what I see it as, right? So the number of women that came out 2 days ago, right, you could possibly say, they did based on their own personal self-conviction, right? When you now take a look at the women and men that came out today in one uniform, white and all that, right, organized by the weakest people, in order to show to me and you that you are seeing some group of people on the side of Fubara doesn't mean that he is actually in charge of the people on his side. So here we go. And that's what they displayed there today in solidarity with Ibas. Ibas has been very good to them. Many of the weakest people have been reappointed into different, governments, kind of like public office in Rivers State, right? Reappointed, but this time not under the constitution of that contraption, Nigeria, right? It is based on the sole administrator's power, which in itself doesn't actually exist, except that it exists because, yeah, somebody is wielding that power as we speak. So we're going to go to Rivers State, see those women who are in total support of state of emergency in Rivers State. And in fact, they wouldn't mind the state of emergency to last to 2027. Because according to them, right, everything is fine now. The reason why the whole place was going to go up in smoke and all of that was because Fubara thought it was smart. So now somebody is there giving us what we were supposed to get anyway. So why change him? That's another conversation, okay? Let's go take a look at their rally. Some of you possibly have seen them today and other views on the matter. So let's go. It's a long watch, yeah? I know. So they were there to show to you and I that there are some of them in support of state of emergency in Rivers State. But is this just for optics? Is that the true reality on ground? Well, people will tell you that that depends on what side you are or whose side you are. Depends on from which perspective or what perspective you are actually viewing it from. Because if there were no, maybe like indirect support for this illegal state of emergency in Rivers State, why is the state calm? And others will be like, okay, do you want them to start? Okay, well, you will never win. So whatever it is, everyone will give you one reason or another why they're just allowing it to pass. That doesn't mean that some of them are not trying, well, to call the attention of the world to what is going on in Rivers State and how much damage is this going to eventually cause in the whole polity, blah, 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 blah. So there is, what do you call it? There is, you see, this is why I need a soundproof kind of my studio so that I won't have to worry about those external sounds. So sorry about that, right? So here is one of the leaders, apart from Mankio Briggs and one of the leaders from Rivers State, right? Telling us how they actually feel. These ones will say they are neutral, okay, like we're just elders and we would prefer the people of Rivers State are not subjected to this kind of treatment in the hands of their supposed public office holders and stuffs like that, right? So they were like supposed to be neutral, but at the same time, right, they are not shying away from apportioning blames in all of this. Still in Rivers State, brethren.
Aaron, my dear brother, what are we talking about? Can you be strengthening grassroots governance when you are, on the trajectory to destroying the subnational? I mean, it doesn't make sense to me. Now, I have made concerted effort and sought legal opinion of lawyers that I can trust. Not everyone. I don't trust every one of them. But those that I can trust, who can give me a cogent but a practical interpretation. I'm not a lawyer of the Constitution. And everyone says to me what he has done in terms of that appointment is unconstitutional. Period. And so if you go by that, whoever he appoints, and by the way, we know that the appointment is a script of somebody behind the curtain, because there is no doubt there are some people that have been appointed that we can trace to certain people of interest in this matter, and that also brings us to this level of nepotism and favoritism and political political favors, which is given to people. And oftentimes, Aaron, my concern is that it defrauds people with competence as against to incompetent individuals, So let's do an interrogation of the list of appointed people and see their connection with people of interest in this matter. And for heaven's sake, stop insulting our intelligence. We're too smart for anybody to bamboozle. We're too smart for anybody to feel that we don't matter. You can say that I don't matter behind me.